What's going on, guys? It's Shadow, bringing you guys another Gundam gameplay video. This is after the beta trial. I was facing my buddy Danny here. He's on a green-blue aggro, revolving mainly around breach, so you can rest and then attack. I think I was still on the green-white for the beta, so I went second, opened up with the Zaku 2, and then he also opens up with his own Zaku 2, which is better than a double Zaku 2 that I've seen happen to me. So start the turn off by swinging at the base so I can clear it, and then establishing a Rick Dom. Do this so if he decides to swing at my Zaku 2, I could potentially KO his Zaku 2 with the Rick Dom for breach, so it could still do damage to his shields. But knowing this, you wouldn't want to swing into the Zaku 2 to rest your own, especially if you can take breach. There's also a guy there that's just watching. Well, yeah, we've definitely been grinding this game out. I personally like the green-white for myself. And you do see he does swing his Zaku 2 into my own, while also establishing a Zar Zaku 2. No pilot, which is good for me. So I start off with swinging at the Zaku 2, taking 1 damage and breaching. Lucky for me, it is a wing Gundam, so he's not going to see that. And then I establish a Zaku 2 and an overflowing affection. So I can draw 2, trash 1. Essentially just cycling out, trying to find pieces. End up dropping the Demi Trainer because I believe I ended up seeing a... what is it? Akira, so I figured that'd be more beneficial. And here he starts off with the Shenlong and Shang Wufei combo, which KOs my Rick Dom, breaching through the base. And then Shang Wufei's ability kicks off since my Rick Dom only was attacking for 3. He takes no damage on that, which is good. Then swings with the Char Zaku 2, and you see I do bounce it with the Hawk of Endymion to try to take some of the pressure off, and then make him waste resources to establish it next turn. So I need to address this Shenlong. If not, it's just going to continue to KO my stuff and breach. So I play out a Strike Gundam, or I believe it's the Launcher Strike Gundam. Yep, the blocker with Kira, leaving me with 1 health. And then swing Zaku 2 into his shields, and he gets another Shang Wufei. Honestly, after playing against the Shang Wufei, I decided to add it into my own list to kind of take a more aggro approach. So you'll see that in some later gameplay, maybe this week. He starts off with a gun tank, KOing my Launcher Strike Gundam, which is unfortunate. It just had 1 health, so real good use out of that gun tank. And then plays out a heavy arms and was considering on probably linking it, but decides to play a Char Zaku 2. Better to go wide than not in this game. At this point, I've reached my resources to be able to establish a wing Gundam and pair it with Hero, since I did have the link, which is perfect. I did sequence this attack wrong. I end up swinging with the wing Gundam first to try to clear out a body. Mainly because I didn't want to swing into Zaku 2, and I decided I was, and then he ends up deploying or bursting a white base, which is unfortunate for me. Honestly, should have swung with the Zaku 2 first into the shields, and then if he triggered the base, swing the wing Gundam into one of his actives, so I would have been able to knock the base out right here. So unfortunate. Now he's going to be able to get full value off the white base as well, which is unfortunate for me. So end up trading both bodies for the wing Gundam, which is the correct thing to do. Leaving me with the wing Gundam, I could take full advantage of it. But as you do see, I'm down to 2 cards in hand, so I'm running out of gas with the deck. I've realized that green, white, kind of, I'm able to filter through my hand, but it's not the greatest. But you do see my opponent taps 2 resources and establishes a token Gundam, which is a 3/3, which is great. And then establishes double gun cannon as well. I believe when it is paired, it can rest a 2 health or less, so Zaku 2 still stays active. But yeah, at this point, I don't have much going on. So I established a Strike Gundam and a Sharzaku 2. But very important to play one card at a time, because I just realized that it is a draw one, discard one. So I take back the Sharzaku 2 and trash that and play out another Strike Gundam. And filter it out and play another Zaku 2 to the trash instead. I chose to do that because I do have a Kira in hand. So I figured once he turns sideways, I can use it to kind of remove any big body that he does play. But yeah, you gotta make sure you play it slow. I was just rushing, didn't think of the draw and discard. So you do see he plays a Show of Resolve, which is absolutely great, which is why I think blue is good to utilize because of the draw power, but you're only really drawing off the Show of Resolve and the Gundam MA form as long as it is paired. Other than that, you're not really drawing. So also it's very costly. A Show of Resolve has to be done essentially late game. If not, it's pretty much not gonna do much for you early on. You'll get cards, but then you're not able to build your board presence. And you see here, he's starting to swing at shields, and I end up missing a Overflow of Affection and a Strike Gundam. And he also clears my Zaku 2, which is unfortunate since he did pair with the Shang Wu Fei. I established the AO Strike, and I pair it with Kira, and I decide to bounce the other cannon. I should have bounced the Gundam, honestly, is a better target since it costs more to play out. And I decided to try to go for board clear here instead of going for shields. I could have potentially put him down to absolutely nothing. And that's what he's pointing out to me. And then he could have had, well, he would have had to focus on my board instead of anything else. So kind of put myself in a tricky situation here, especially since he is able to utilize his white base as well. I mean, you do see he establishes a Rick Dom. But if he plans on utilizing the base, he should have done it first prior. But as you see here, he's got a lot more to do than just establishing a white base token. Plays out 4 units, which is absolutely what he needed to do. I'm out of gas. All I have is my top deck. So playing with Spear Fingers, establish 1 blocker. Even if I decide to swing at the white base, it clears the base, but he still has 2 shields. So unfortunate for me at this very situation, but it really wouldn't have changed much because in the last turn he would have pretty much swung his entire field at all of my characters. So he starts off Zaku 2 to shields. I could block with the AO Strike, but I choose not to. And I believe that was a Kira that I just added to hand. And now he's swinging Rick Dom. Rick Dom is a Witch and a Bride. Bursting, and I end up sending something back to his hand because it can send something with a 5 health or less. So I basically just bought myself a turn. And then here, he's deciding on whether or not to swing with the Sharzaku 2. And honestly, probably would have been the best thing to do, in my opinion. Why not? And he does go, instead of swinging with the Sharzaku 2, establishing 3 more units to be at 6. And at this point, I established 1 more AO Strike and pair it or link it with Akira. And I pretty much just bounced the Shenlong, but it doesn't matter what I bounce, I'm pretty much done for. And this comes back to the point, if I would have attacked base the turn prior, I could have potentially just cleared everything because I did have the Kira pair with this AO Strike, so I could have potentially won the game. Also dependent on if he bursts a base out of life, which he ends up doing. You're going to see here. He's going to reveal it, but pretty much game. But if you guys like the content, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought of the match, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.